bit about the opportunities, and we talked about medical necessity and stuff like that. So I think I stirred, the group's interest, and a lot of them might, are thinking about possibly expanding their knowledge into the dental end of the billing and coding.
Cool.
Because they know everything for medical.
Right.
And, they have the 7,000 codes. They know the ICD-10 like the back of their hand. And then I whip out the CD-10 and they're like, they're cracking up,
Yeah,
So
they can read through that in an hour.
Right, exactly. They were just cracking up. So, there's a couple of certifications out there for coding, and I did bring that up. I just said to make sure that they do their research. I did talk about dental codology a little bit. I also talked about, what we do here in this group, going to Chicago and trying to change the language, but I had to keep it very broad. I couldn't get into a lot of, details. So, I think it went well, though. Maybe I can get them to be the next generation of coders.
Well, Patty said one of her goals is that dental coding should be like the specialty coders.
Right.
They learn coding, but then they'll concentrate on cardiology or gastroenterology or orthopedics or whatever, and oral health should be in there.
Agreed. And I kind of said that, I kind of talked to that, and I tried to talk to the program director about it, somehow weaving it into the curriculum. But just like all other schools, there's a standardized curriculum. And I'm like, yeah, but you could have one or two, like, quick little lectures that might, help them out. It's not like they have to know, they have to know some, but they don't have to know as much detail. They would know better the medical end.
Right.
Like they'd be able to go, hey, that would be okay in this kind of code, so we'll see how it goes. Well, baby step.
Yeah.
Where do you work?
So,
where
I work for Fortis Institute, and they're a tech school. They do medical coding, medical assisting, dental assisting, and HVAC. It's a for-profit school, which is a whole beast in itself. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's fun. I've been doing it for quite a long time. I was the program director for the dental assisting program, and then I said I had enough. So I went into office management. Didn't like where I was, and I left and kind of been here, there, and everywhere, doing consulting, speaking, and then the school contacted me to consult and come in there and fix the program because it fell apart, and begged me to be program director again, and I said, oh, hell no, and I'll be here until you find a sucker to step in that spot. and they found a sucker, and once they hired her, they're like, okay, we don't need you anymore. And I'm like, fine. But we'd like you to have you as an instructor for less salary. So, I took it because it's consistent, and it's part-time. So I can do all other kinds of things that I want to do. So right now it's okay. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right. And it works for you. That's what matters.
For right now. Yeah. For right now. So.
All
right.
That's why I can help. That's why I can help Patty and everybody.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
And so, were you on the Dental Codology Consortium meeting the other day?
I feel like I was, but I don't know because I'm going from meeting to meeting, so I'm like a little confused. I think I went. Yes, I think I did go.
Okay. So we have to get started on filling out the form for
That's right.
the code change and
right.
everything in place. Yeah. So my PowerPoint tonight is the specific codes that we have, and kind of hopefully talking about and getting ideas of what we want as far as what we want to place the statement we want instead of the provider language. So I was hoping that you could help me with that tonight so that we can start filling out that form. I'm putting it on Dropbox so that, whoever, wants to help can, get it off there. The other thing I did was look at research, and I was trying to figure out what angle that we want to go from. Is it one of productivity, finances? I was looking at competition. Some was market power, the effects of insurance carriers on market power for dentists. I don't know. Does anybody have any ideas of where we can look for research? There really isn't any provider language research I could find.
Yeah, I can't
Well,
imagine.
can we compare it to medical?
I don't see
You
why.
know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they
Yeah.
don't really put a specific doctor, right? They only use provider. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that.
So you mean through the look at ICD codes?
Right. And not look through all of them, but look
Right.
through the book
Okay.
and say, hey, that they don't specifically say a physician, they say a medical provider or something.
Okay.
Just a thought. I'm throwing it out there.
Well, I know we have to put justification of
Right.
why we want to change.
Right.
So yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, just a comparison.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what kind of research we'd be able to justify saying that. Does anyone feel the same way? Like, is there really research to why we want to change it?
No, but I believe in the beginning of their CDT book, they
Which I left at work, which I'm sorry about that.
oh bad baby. They talk about, or someplace they say, consistency.
Yes, it is in the book. Yeah.
And they want it to be consistent. And they're not consistent because there are some things where they name the provider. These are supposed to be procedure codes. That's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they keep saying. They're procedure codes. And yet they're listing a specific provider. So there's conflict within their book and their stated goals. One of their goals is to have consistency, and yet they don't because they put in a provider in what is supposed to be a procedure code. And they put in different names. So the inconsistencies make it confusing for everyone. And something John Camisi said, and I don't know how we can.
Yeah, I was going to listen to that recording again because yes.
I listened to it today. And he said something, okay, AGD and ADA are kind of fighting the specialties. Yes. And
they're fighting what? I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
They're fighting the specialties.
Oh, okay.
Because more and more general dentists are doing what specialists do. And there's no differentiation in the coding. Anybody can do anything within the scope of practice of any state. You can do whatever you want. Which, anyway. So I was wondering how we could add to this and somehow say that we want it to be a team effort, that we are part of the team, and that if they limit it like that, we can't be part of the team. We want to be part of their team. That's what we've done all along. Well, once
Right.
they dragged us out of the schools and found out that even though they call us a lost leader, we make money for them, that. But just somehow get that by specifying one person, they're limiting how the team can improve things in oral health together.
I
Yeah,
like
Like,
that.
if you look at
enough.
on ADA's site, they say that one of their main goals is for increased oral health or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Access.
So let's quote them to them.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they want it under their law, not.
We know that.
Yeah.
But again, okay, so look, if we've got people out doing stuff, let's say they don't want to give up control. They want
Right.
to be the dentist and they want to be needed. Because as John said, dentists are feeling like they're going to get thrown out. General dentists are going to get squeezed out. Or anyway, they're all worried. They're worried about
Yes.
market share. There's not enough stuff going on. That's because they won't move their fat asses out of the city and into where they're actually needed, because God forbid they shouldn't do cosmetic dentistry or something.
Well, they also don't get paid as much.
Yeah, well, and I feel for the ones, especially the new ones, coming out with a massive debt.
Right.
It's
Right.
massive.
Right.
Oh my God, it's ridiculously massive.
Right.
Say, quiet. Yeah, like he's listening. But somehow to say that making it that specific can prevent the team from achieving
Fraud. Well,
keep the team.
you know I'd like to say that, but
Yeah, I know, but there's got to be a way to say it. Is what I'm saying. That says that we're not doing this just for us.
Right.
If the dentist, we have to collaborate. In most cases, we have to somehow collaborate with the dentist. There are very few places that we don't have to collaborate.
Right.
Fine, let us collaborate, but stop
Right.
restricting what we do because we're going to do it collaboratively with you. If I'm an advanced practice person, there's stuff that has to go to a dentist to do complex, complicated stuff. Let's give them the time to do that, make the money doing that. I'll do the piddly stuff. Hell, we do
Right.
the pro.
So if we say
And that's how
we want
that's
to
how
achieve
go ahead.
collaboration and productivity.
Productivity, consistent, yeah, all of that. I don't know. I just start talking.
Well, Dr. Kamisi, is that his last name?
Yes.
Okay. He was saying something about, he was concerned about the market share, but then he and Christy were discussing about how that it really adds to the production of the whole office. So then the whole office is benefiting by this combined collaboration.
It should.
It
But they
could.
get so hung up on it. Yeah, it could. If they
Mhm.
let go.
Right. But we have to, like you said, Patty, we have to put this in a.
Sorry.
We have to play nice in the sandbox.
Right.
If we don't play, it's going to just get shut down. I mean, we had to do this in New Jersey. I mean, it took us forever to get general supervision. Because we have a real true all boys network, and the dentist was on the state senate. So it was really tough for us to get that general supervision. Thank God he was old and finally gone. But, we had to play nicey. And that's kind of what I think how, like Patty was saying, we have to almost guilt them, like a mother's guilt, into kind of doing this because they're not doing the right thing for the patient. And they're restricting the teamwork collaboration.
Right. Just like, dental sealants are now, the assistants can now do those. and it's basically just more production for the office.
Right.
Yeah, it all contributes,
So do we want to say the licensed dental professional according to State Dental Practice Act?
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's,
and I think that's important according to the state law because, for example, in Delaware, assistants can't do sealants, as far as I understand.
Okay.
But they keep changing the law without letting anybody know and taking things in and out. So
Nice.
Oh, that's good.
Leaving words
on the
out.
other hand, guys, we have in Illinois, you know what we have? We have ADA headquarters.
Mm.
Yeah.
They sent 5 lobbying firms to fight our last bill.
Oh, God.
5?
5 lobbying firms to join with the State Dental Society to lobby against what we asked for. Yeah.
That's just lovely, isn't it?
Well, Illinois has always been slow.
Because ADA is here.
Exactly.
That's why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, we're slow, all right. That's an understatement.
Oh,
well,
not
we
as-
had general supervision and we got it back. We lost it for 20 years.
Mm.
So
Anyway, but yeah, I think licensed dental professional, according to the State Dental Practice Act.
Okay.
Um,
There is one here for this one for diagnostic imaging.
okay.
It said should be taken only for clinical reasons as determined by the patient's dentist. Do we?
Provider.
Okay.
Provider. Yeah.
Do we still say the licensed dental professional according to State Dental Practice Act?
Mm.
Do we stay consistent with how we want to replace this provider language?
Can it be grouped as the following so we don't have to repeat that on every page? Say and put that statement once followed by everything that should go in it. Is that possible?
What was it? Can we go back to that first one for a minute? Because I'm a little
This is under the preface in the beginning of the book.
right. The only reason I'm looking at I love what you have here, but knowing what I know about X-rays and dentists being the only one allowed to diagnose, ugh. If you put licensed dental professional, that's going to get shot down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is this just
even though you say according to state license practice act, I feel like that's where we're going to get a big pushback.
okay?
So if we put this here and then we simply say provider.
Well, that's not putting up with our consistency, is it then?
Well, that's a lot to say all at once. And we could put here licensed dental professional, licensed dental provider.
I like that. There you go.
Provider instead of professional?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Provider. And then you use provider from then on.
Yes. I love that. That's better because you can't use professional because they're going to think that we're trying to sneak in hygiene in there. Even though it would be awesome.
Right. So do we have that whole statement for everyone?
Let me read this. Hold on. If there are more than one code, what?
In addition to that,
there's a required statement at the bottom of the page on number Roman numeral 4, and this is what it says.
Well, that beginning's wrong.
Bad English.
I know.
Yeah.
Believe me, I had a hard time typing it. I'm like, this does not Speak well.
If there are more than one code, okay, and then we can ask for an editorial change because their tenses don't match.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I was just saying you can do more than one code. Okay.
No, that the payer can change. This is how the payers, that's how they down code. Remap, whatever the word is.
Yeah.
See, because the payer can do it according to their policy.
Of course. Yes. Yeah, I feel like it's crazy if we keep putting licensed dental provider according to the State Practice Act. Yeah.
And a provider, period. Knowing that it means, and actually in that first one, you could put the licensed dental professional, AKA provider, also known as a provider.
Okay.
There you go.
Put maybe a note. See, when this asterisk is, it refers to. I don't know if that is possible.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Where's my?
Because it becomes confusing to put that much in.
Yes.
And we want to keep it simple, so because people are confused by it. And that other one at the bottom of the page, that's so that the carriers can down code.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think dentist can come out and provider can go in, whoever
Yes.
it is. As our justification, we can list, and I'm just trying to pull this out. We can list how many states where hygienists are can be directly paid by Medicaid, and there are some.
In this book?
Somewhere there's a list of the states where and we might have to get it from the centers of Medicaid and Medicare, but there are states where hygienists can be directly reimbursed by Medicare.
Yeah, ADA has it. There's I had it on my last.
Yeah, and that's part of the justification.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So we could put that picture or graphic from ADA on in this submission.
Yeah.
Okay. Good idea.
It's like we're not. This is still as part of the team. This is what can happen, and this is why you need to change this to provider, because some of these things are allowed.
Right.
Exactly.
And if the Practice Act requires a collaboration with a dentist, which I'm fine with, but if that's what they require, then that's what happens. But it's still about the provider, and then you start splitting hairs as to which provider. It's crazy. It's insane.
Right. No, I think this is such a good cause. I really do.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know how they feel, but I have to tell you, with Fraud Lens coming up with algorithms, this would make life a lot easier.
Yeah.
In the long run, because insurance companies look for anything to not pay claims, and I could just see the insurance companies splitting hairs so that the hygienists who are doing advanced therapy aren't going to get paid because it says dentist. Yeah.
And according to them, and according to their preface, as long as it's in the scope, it's fine. But it's misleading and confusing when you put dentist in there.
Correct.
Right.
And it is actually fraud.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so much of the dental practice acts are changing, and they're always like new legislation. Wisconsin just got the dental therapy approved in legislation. So, it's always changing as to who the provider's going to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It changes back and forth, and yeah.
So anywhere where there's this license, it will be a provider. We'll put the word provider in here.
Right.
Okay. And then for the diagnostics, okay, this is all screening. That would be provider. And then diagnostics, we still stay with the provider, right?
Yes.
Okay. Great. And then here is the maxillofacial prosthetics. We still stay with provider here.
Yes. That's
Okay.
fine. Yeah.
I
I
can't imagine any practice act letting that go, but okay, fine.
yeah.
Right. I mean, basically it is going to be, and then this one says clinicians.
Yeah, see,
That's
one
so,
place they say dentist, the other one they say clinician, and it's confusing.
and
Right.
that's so weird because this is a surgical procedure, you know?
Yes, and like, believe me, none of us have delusions of that.
I'm
But
I
wondering,
don't want to do that. Yeah.
it's again, and maybe the justification for that one is that again, inconsistent
right.
Yes.
with your own, by your own statements, it's inconsistent.
Consistent. Yep.
So it would be an editorial change to provider.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. If we do it that way, I think if you're much, it might raise some eyebrows, but it looks very innocuous.
Well, yeah, because can a medical doctor then do this? You know, like a head and neck
I would think so.
person that,
Not if they're not licensed. They have to be licensed in the state to be able to perform that procedure.
as a dentist or
But
as
an ENT could do it.
as a head and neck surgeon.
Yeah.
An
If he's,
ENT could do it.
Okay,
They
so
can do
yep.
I'm just wondering if that's the reason why they said clinician, that in some
it
cases
might be,
it would be someone other
but
than,
that's their problem. And it's like, come on, guys. 1 minute it's the dentist, the next minute it's a clinician. You're
And that's-
inconsistent.
right, the same
Yeah.
thing with the orthodontist, this observation, periodic observation in
And
interval.
why doesn't that say an orthodontist? I mean, if you want to split hairs,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
that, you
Well,
know,
and you're doing
Well,
them in their
you know
own.
what they're doing this for?
Okay,
Is for those over the counter, we'll fix your smile, whatever it is. I forget.
yes.
oh, smile
You know.
direct.
Yep.
Yes.
There's
That's
another
why
one now, too. Mhm.
Yeah. They're real touchy about the ortho one.
Right.
But it has to be a provider
Yep,
under the State Practice Act, period. I don't care who
Period.
it is.
Me either. As long as they get certified and are able to practice.
right. So it here in adjunctive services, the anesthesia, that would still be
Look,
provider.
now it's doctor.
I know.
Goodness gracious.
There's like 3 doctors here. You know, they keep saying doctor when they refer to the anesthesia.
And it might be a nurse anesthetist. So what the hell, folks?
Yeah, right?
Jeez. I'd be thrilled if it were a nurse anesthetist
Yeah,
rather
right.
than the dentist doing his own anesthesia, which
Oh,
just drives
heck
me right
yeah.
up the wall.
Well, yeah, don't facial surgeons have nurses that are their expanded duties can monitor anesthesia? I thought there were. Maybe not.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
I could be wrong.
these are, and then the consultation, again, provider, this says dentist or physician, other than the requesting dentist or physician.
So to put that, where's that up?
What? You're breaking up, Vicki.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I said, can you bring that up again, please? That one they were talking about with the provider and the physician.
Huh?
I didn't
Vicki, I
hear
don't know
you.
what's going on.
It could be the weather, John.
Oh, so this is okay with provider too, also?
But going down further in that, when it says practitioner,
Oh,
is
I
that
see that.
concerning?
Yes. Yes, I see that.
And then a couple times it says practitioner, and then down near the bottom, at the end of the
Right.
sentence, it says practitioner also.
So we put provider in here too.
Yeah, I'm thinking it needs something. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. This has to be red. Sorry.
They should be happy that somebody else is taking the time to do all this.
Yeah.
We're editing their paper for them.
Right.
You think everything's fine. They're happy.
That would be okay.
This space between provider and or, because otherwise you're a provider or.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and save all this.
Okay.
Going on the fly here. Okay. And then this is again dentist. This is adjunct still. Provider's office. And the
I think that, yeah, I think this is great.
okay, provider seems to be working good. Okay, so we'll put the licensed dental professional in the front and then provider elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So I will change that and upload this to Dropbox. So if we all need to change any of that, we can refer back to this. And then the Excel sheet for the contacts, I noticed one of the other subgroups did it where they just filled in all the contact information, address, email addresses. So if it's okay, I'd like to schedule another, where if we could get back onto the Dropbox and update any of the addresses. Anybody can do that, or if somebody wants to just, I'll do some of them. If somebody else wants to help out with that.
I'm confused.
Me too. What kind of Dropbox? What Excel sheet? Sorry.
It's just I'm going to make an Excel sheet. I couldn't get a picture of it. But it's basically can you see this?
I see
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is what one of the other groups did. And then they filled in all the the email addresses for contacts so that we can contact partners to hopefully, work with us to ask for these editorials. These aren't necessarily the ones. These are all for oral cancer, it looks like. But so I'm going to put one up there like this that we can then pick and choose, maybe a couple each, and then send out emails. I asked Christy to write a letter helping to introduce this, or if somebody else wants to help edit the letter as to how we want to introduce us, or do you want me to do that? Either way.
I think, write one and we can bleed all over it if we need to.
Okay.
Yep. Like it's going to be a group effort.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I will go ahead and do that. We can communicate through email or Dropbox. This is our contact for everybody. This is the request form that I'll upload to Dropbox that we can all help work on this as well. Um, we'll do the contact list, the request form, and then the letter. All right, that sounds good. Thanks so much for everybody's help. That.
Oh,
Oh my goodness, you're
Daisy.
doing so much.
Thank you, thank you. All right, so do we need to have another meeting by next week? Or,
Yeah, we guys, we've only got a month. We got to come up with everything in a month.
that's what she, yeah. So maybe can't schedule one for next Wednesday, or just to see how where we're going.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay,
Is that the 11th?
that is the 11th. Are
I
you
think we
guys?
have a meeting.
Mastermind.
Yeah, we have a meeting.
Oh, okay. So then we'll do the 18th, maybe.
Okay.
Does that work?
I may have a conflict. Hold on. I might or might not have him. I think I do have something on the 18th, but I'll try to fit this in somewhere.
Okay.
Oh, we start this at 8. I might be a little late, but I think I can catch up.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and somehow we're supposed to be forming coalitions with this.
That's great. That's why I wanted to get going on that contact list.
Yeah.
So that we can get those emails out, so even though we're only meeting on the 18th, let's
We
make
have
sure.
to do something
Yes.
in between that, because we have to get the letter written. We have to be ready to ship it out like that night. Just have it ready to go.
Yes.
So if we can start Wednesday, maybe by Sunday, if somebody can do the letter,
Okay.
and then we can all do an email round or something on it, look at it, say if it sounds good, doesn't sound good, what about this, how about that, and get it done, and get the contact numbers so that we can look at it on Wednesday night and say, okay, this is it goes out.
On the 18th, you're talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did
be
you
ready
say?
to go, because we just don't have time.
Right. I know. That's the feeling I got from the last meeting. I was panicked, and I was like, so you're talking about the letter by this Sunday, the 8th?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can just do the rough draft of the letter,
Right.
how you think it might go, what it should say. And then we can and if you get it done before Sunday, just send it to us. And as each of us has time, maybe we can look at it, put your changes that you think would be good, or other sentences, put it in a different color. And then we can go back and look at the whole thing, like Sunday, look at the whole thing and say, okay, fine. I like this, I don't like that. And we can discuss it and just put it together and have it as the template for what we're going to do, and just send things out.
Okay.
And I don't know who we're going to send them to.
Well, that's what the contact list was going to be, is to list the people, the groups that we can use to at least contact and see who we can send this to try and get those coalitions.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're putting the Excel sheet into the Dropbox is a great thing. I am not going to be around this weekend.
Okay.
So I'm not going to have, my time is, normally I'm easy going on the weekend, but this weekend I'm not around.
Okay.
So I won't be able to contribute that much this weekend. After that, I should be good.
Okay.
Well, it's going to be up there, so whenever anybody has a chance to get to the Dropbox, they can take a look at what's up there in our provider.
And then just add, like I'm thinking, specialists. That's what I already came to mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That'd be great.
So if you put that Excel, I'll just add to it, and
Yes.
if somebody could do the letter, if I get Wi-Fi where I'm going, I'll be glad to try to contribute.
Okay.
But if you don't hear from me, don't wait for me.
If you can do the contacts, then the rest of us can work on the letter. People are at ADA.
Yes.
Connie Simmons couldn't be here because she's at ADA.
Right.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what
Right.
that she was. Exactly. There's just a lot of meetings the next few months.
Right.
So I think if we just work off Dropbox and email, I think we can get things done by that next month meeting.
Okay.
I'll
I mean, I'm not gonna. Just everybody help me with the coalition, because I mean, I'm just talking about specialists. That's all I had on the top of my brain. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I was thinking about
Yeah.
maybe they had a list of coalitions that they used for the dental therapists legislation. I was thinking about maybe contacting some of them
That would be good.
that,
Yep.
because they're obviously interested in getting the therapists able to, get reimbursed.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's what I was going to look into, and then I will contact Christy in regards to where she's at with the letter and just maybe a rough draft, and so we can all work on that by
That would
Okay.
be great.
by email. Okay, thank you so much.
All right.
Have a nice
All
evening.
right. All
Well,
right.
All right.
bye bye.
Take
Thank
care,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.